Which LGBTQ plus films truly left audiences shocked? From hidden desires to tragic endings, these are stories that stunned viewers and stayed unforgettable. Here are 20 shocking LGBTQ plus movies to stream in 2025. Cruising.
How would you like to disappear?
Disappear?
Go undercover.
You know this man?
Directed by William Friedkin, Cruising stars Al Pacino as Steve Burns, a rookie cop who goes undercover in New York's gay S and M clubs to catch a serial killer. To blend in, Steve adopts the lifestyle of the men he's investigating, venturing into leather bars and secret underground scenes. Pacino's performance captures a man slowly losing grip on his identity, raising questions about whether the role is affecting his own desires. The film was highly controversial on release, with protests from gay rights groups, but Friedkin doubled down by filming in real underground clubs and using actual patrons as extras. The result is a thriller that feels disturbingly authentic. Even decades later, the ambiguity of its ending and Pacino's unnerving transformation keep audiences debating whether Steve uncovered the killer or something more sinister inside himself. Sequin in a Blue Room.
How do you want to do this? Take off your clothes.
Oh, you're so beautiful.
I could get this place again.
I don't want to see people twice.
Sequin in a Blue Room is an Australian drama about Sequin, a 16-year-old boy played by Connor Leach. Sequin lives a double life, using a hookup app to meet strangers while keeping his activities secret from family and friends. Though he acts confident, underneath he is lonely and searching for real connection. After one brief encounter leaves him intrigued, he becomes determined to track down the mysterious man who caught his attention. His search leads him to an underground party known as the Blue Room, where the rules are dangerous and nothing is guaranteed. Along the way, Sequin attracts the attention of an older man who begins to follow him with unsettling persistence. The film builds tension around Sequin's choices, and Connor Leach delivers a powerful debut performance that makes the story both gripping and personal. Stranger by the Lake.
Vous êtes un habitué, vous?
Oui.
Pierre Deladonchamp plays Frank, a man spending his summer at a French lakeside cruising spot. He becomes entranced by Michelle, a strikingly confident stranger played by Christophe Pau. One evening, Frank secretly witnesses Michelle drown another man, yet instead of running, he continues pursuing him. The unsettling choice pushes the film into thriller territory, where love, lust, and danger coexist in the same quiet setting. Director Alain Guiraudie shot the film entirely at the lake, using the natural beauty to heighten the unease. Deladonchamp won the César Award for Most Promising Actor for his portrayal of Frank's dangerous obsession, while Pau embodied Michelle with both allure and menace. Supporting actor Patrick Dassumsau adds weight as Henri, an outsider who watches events unfold. The film's combination of candid sexuality and looming violence made it one of the most provocative releases of the decade. Mysterious Skin.
Desire sledgehammered me. He looked like lifeguards, cowboys, and firemen I'd seen in the Playgirls that my mom kept stashed under her bed. And back then, I didn't know what to do with my feelings.
Directed by Greg Araki, Mysterious Skin tells the story of Neil and Brian, two boys connected by a childhood trauma. As teenagers, Neil, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, becomes a hustler, numbing himself through encounters with older men, while Brian, portrayed by Brady Corbett, suffers blackouts and believes he was abducted by aliens. Their lives run in parallel until their paths converge to reveal the devastating truth of their shared past. Gordon-Levitt delivers a fearless performance that marked a turning point in his career, breaking away from his child star image. The film is adapted from Scott Himes' novel and is unflinching in its portrayal of trauma and survival. Araki uses dreamlike visuals and stark realism to balance sensitivity with brutality. By the final scenes, both boys confront their history, leaving audiences shaken by the painful clarity of their discovery. Sauvage.
Ça fait combien de temps que vous vous prostituez?
Un certain temps.
Mais vous avez pas envie d'autre chose?
Pourquoi j'aurais envie d'autre chose?
In this French drama directed by Camille Vidal-Naquet, Félix Méritot plays Leo, a 22-year-old sex worker drifting through Strasbourg. Leo lives without rules, moving from one encounter to the next, while yearning for tenderness he rarely finds. Mériteau, who won the Rising Star Award at Cannes, captures Leo's contradictions, his need for love alongside his rejection of stability. The film refuses to soften his reality, showing him hustling on the streets, struggling with addiction, and clinging to fleeting moments of intimacy. Shot with raw handheld camera work, it immerses the viewer in Leo's turbulent world. Though shocking in its candor, the performance grounds the story in humanity rather than exploitation. By following Leo's choices, the film paints an unflinching portrait of survival and the search for affection in the harshest conditions. By the way, if you're enjoying these picks and want to see more content like this, consider supporting our channel by becoming a member. You'll get exclusive early access to videos, a welcoming community of film enthusiasts, and a range of additional perks. Freefall.
Bist du bescheuert?
Directed by Stephen LeConte, Freefall follows Mark, a married police officer expecting his first child, played by Hanno Koffler. While training at a police academy, he meets Kay, portrayed by Max Riemelt, and their bond grows into a passionate secret affair. Mark's carefully structured life unravels as he juggles his responsibilities to his wife Bettina and his overwhelming desire for Kay. The chemistry between Koffler and Riemelt drives the film, with both actors capturing the confusion and intensity of forbidden love. Shot on location in Germany, the film uses the rigid structure of police life as a backdrop for Mark's crumbling sense of order. Praised for its realism and emotional weight, Freefall became a sleeper hit in LGBTQ+ cinema, with many calling it the German answer to Brokeback Mountain. The story's impact lies in its unrelenting portrayal of love colliding with duty. In From the Side.
Oh. That's a bit on the tight side.
This British drama, directed by Matt Carter, explores the world of an amateur gay rugby club. Mark, played by Alexander Lincoln, begins an affair with teammate Warren, portrayed by Alexander King, despite Warren being in a long-term relationship. Their secret romance risks not only their personal lives, but also the fragile unity of their struggling team. The film focuses on the intense bond between the two men, balancing the thrill of secrecy with the guilt of betrayal. Lincoln and King bring emotional depth to their roles, making the affair feel both intoxicating and destructive. Shot with the help of real rugby players, the film captures the physicality of the sport while diving into its emotional consequences. Carter's direction keeps the focus intimate, highlighting the personal cost of choices that ripple across friendships and loyalty. Eastern Boys.
How much?
50 euro. Can I have your address?
Robin Campillo's Eastern Boys begins as a story of loneliness and danger in Paris. Olivier Rabourdin plays Daniel, a middle-aged man who invites Marek, a young immigrant played by Kirill Emelianov, to his home after meeting him near a train station. What seems like a tentative connection turns violent when Marek's gang invades Daniel's apartment in a harrowing sequence filmed with chilling realism. Yet the story doesn't stop there. Daniel and Marek's relationship develops into something unexpected, mixing dependency, risk, and genuine affection. Campillo, who also directed 120 BPM, uses the shifting power dynamics to keep audiences uncertain about where the relationship is heading. Both leads give layered performances, Rabourdin as a man searching for meaning, and Emelianov as someone torn between loyalty to his gang and a new bond with Daniel. Knife plus Heart.
Puissant. Vorace.
Directed by Yann Gonzalez, this neon-soaked French horror thriller stars Vanessa Paradis as Anne, a gay porn producer in 1979 Paris. After her girlfriend and editor Lois leaves her, Anne throws herself into work, filming increasingly bizarre productions in hopes of winning her back. Meanwhile, a masked killer begins targeting her actors, stabbing them with a knife hidden in a sex toy. Paradis delivers a fearless performance, balancing grief and obsession, while Kate Moran adds emotional depth as Lois. The film was shot on 35mm, giving it a dreamlike vintage quality that contrasts sharply with the brutal violence. Premiering at Cannes, it divided critics but won praise for its bold style and blending of giallo-inspired horror with queer cinema. The result is a shocking, surreal experience where love, art, and death collide. Querelle.
Sur le vengeur qui accoste, querelle. Il n'est pas matelot. Il est tous les matelots du monde.
Based on Jean Genet's novel, Querelle was the final film of legendary director Rainer Werner Fassbinder. Brad Davis stars as Querelle, a handsome sailor who arrives in the port city of Brest and plunges into a world of crime, lust, and betrayal. Querelle murders his partner during a drug deal, then seeks refuge in a brothel owned by Lyciane, played by Jeanne Moreau. The film unfolds as a stylized fever dream, with artificial sets bathed in bold colors that heighten the sense of unreality. Davis plays Querelle as both seductive and ruthless, manipulating those around him while wrestling with his own desires. Fassbinder's direction pushes the boundaries of eroticism and surrealism, making the film one of the most polarizing in queer cinema. Its daring visual style and uncompromising story remain shocking more than 4 decades later. Mario. Directed by Marcel Gisler, Mario tells the story of 2 young football players in Switzerland. Mario, played by Max Hubacher, is on the verge of joining a top-league team when he meets Leon, a new transfer portrayed by Aaron Altaras. Their chemistry is immediate, and soon their relationship deepens into a secret romance. But football culture proves unforgiving. Rumors spread, management warns them to stay discreet, and teammates grow suspicious. Hubacher captures Mario's conflict between love and ambition, while Altaras conveys Leon's vulnerability and quiet strength. The film was praised for its authenticity, with many scenes filmed on real training grounds to enhance realism. What begins as hope for both men unravels under relentless pressure, leaving Mario torn between his future and his heart. The performances highlight just how much athletes risk when their private lives collide with public scrutiny. The Living End.
So what's your name, you sexy slab of buff beefcake? Luke.
Stop it, Daisy.
Greg Araki's road movie. The Living End captures the nihilistic energy of the early 90s. Craig Gilmore stars as Luke, a sarcastic film critic who discovers he's HIV positive. On the run, he meets John, a drifter played by Mike Dietrich, who has also tested positive. Instead of retreating, the two throw caution aside, embarking on a reckless journey across the American West. Their bond grows in the midst of sex, drugs, and impulsive violence, turning the film into a chaotic love story, where self-destruction and intimacy go hand in hand. Araki filmed the movie quickly on a small budget, but its rawness became part of its cult appeal. Gilmore and Dietrich bring urgency to their roles, embodying characters living like every moment could be their last. The result is shocking, unpredictable, and a defining piece of new queer cinema. Out in the Dark. Michael Mayer's Out in the Dark tells the forbidden love story of Nimr, a Palestinian psychology student, and Roy, an Israeli lawyer. Played by Nicholas Jacob and Michael Aloni, the two meet in a Tel Aviv nightclub and quickly fall into a passionate relationship. Their romance faces obstacles at every turn. Nimr is rejected by his conservative family, targeted by authorities, and constantly threatened with deportation. Aloni brings warmth to Roy's role, a man determined to protect the one he loves despite political danger. The tension escalates as secret police and family loyalties close in, forcing Nimr to make life-altering decisions. Shot across both Israel and Palestine, the film highlights the harsh realities of living between two hostile worlds. Jacob's performance conveys desperation mixed with hope, making the story both intimate and terrifyingly real. Firebird.
Bist du bescheuert?
Based on a true story, Firebird is set in Soviet-occupied Estonia during the 1970s. Sergei, a young conscript played by Tom Pryor, falls in love with Roman, a daring fighter pilot portrayed by Oleg Zagorodny. Their affair blooms against the backdrop of military life, where secrecy is crucial. Discovery could mean imprisonment or worse. Pryor, who also co-wrote the screenplay, brings tenderness to Sergei, while Zagorodny embodies charisma and strength as Roman. The film was shot on location in Estonia, lending authenticity to the Cold War setting. Their clandestine meetings, whether in hidden forests or dim military rooms, carry a constant sense of danger. As military pressures mount and rumors spread, their bond is tested until betrayal and duty force them apart. The film's emotional weight lies in its portrayal of love caught in a system built to destroy it. Heartstone.
Oj, han är som min. Hur tar filen?
Det är så mycket fint.
Set in a remote Icelandic fishing village, Gudmundur Arnar Gudmundsson's Hearthstone follows two teenage friends during one transformative summer. Thor, played by Baldur Einarsson, wrestles with bullies and a crush on a local girl, while Christian, portrayed by Blair Hinrichsen, hides his deepening feelings for Thor. The film captures their carefree adventures, fishing, exploring, and testing boundaries, before shifting into an intimate drama of secrets and heartbreak. Shot against Iceland's stark landscapes, the cinematography mirrors the beauty and harshness of the boys' lives. Both young actors give natural, heartfelt performances, grounding the story in authenticity. As Christian's emotions come to light, their friendship strains under the weight of silence and rejection. Praised at Venice and Toronto film festivals, the movie was noted for its unflinching yet sensitive exploration of adolescence. Its power lies in how fragile bonds can fracture under unspoken truths. Beach Rats.
Come on, you're gonna make me say it.
Say it.
Directed by Eliza Hittman, Beach Rats follows Frankie, a Brooklyn teenager played by Harris Dickinson in his breakout role. By day, Frankie hangs out with friends, drifts along Coney Island's boardwalk, and half-heartedly dates a girl to satisfy family expectations. By night, he secretly cruises gay chat rooms, arranging anonymous encounters with older men. Dickinson captures the tension between bravado and vulnerability, making Frankie's double life both compelling and tragic. Hittman shot the film using natural light and intimate close-ups, grounding the story in gritty realism. As Frankie's lies pile up, he's pulled into increasingly reckless situations with his friends, culminating in violence that leaves him isolated. The performances and raw style expose the weight of living a life that feels split in two, cementing Beach Rats as a strikingly honest and unsettling coming-of-age drama. My Own Private Idaho.
Model. You know, fashion-oriented modeling. Trying to make a living. Isn't that right, Mike?
What do you care about money? You got plenty of money.
Actually, Mike is right.
Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho stars River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves in career-defining roles. Phoenix plays Mike, a narcoleptic street hustler searching for his estranged mother, while Reeves portrays Scott, his wealthy best friend who rebels against his privileged family. Their road trip takes them through desolate landscapes, abandoned towns, and encounters with other hustlers, forming a loose, dreamlike odyssey. Phoenix's performance is deeply vulnerable, especially in a famous campfire scene where Mike confesses his love for Scott, a moment largely improvised. Reeves, by contrast, gives Scott a cool detachment, foreshadowing his eventual return to wealth and power. Filmed on a modest budget with influences from Shakespeare's Henry IV, the movie blends realism and surreal imagery. Its devastating ending, with Mike collapsing on an empty road, remains one of the most haunting finales in queer cinema. All of Us Strangers.
Hello.
Hi.
Saw you looking at me from the street.
Andrew Hayes' All of Us Strangers stars Andrew Scott as Adam, a lonely screenwriter living in a near-empty London tower block. He begins a romance with his mysterious neighbor Harry, played by Paul Mescal, whose charm hides his own fragility. At the same time, Adam returns to his childhood home, where he shockingly finds his long-deceased parents, portrayed by Claire Foy and Jamie Bell, alive and unchanged. Scott delivers one of his finest performances, balancing tenderness and grief, while Mescal adds raw intensity as Harry. Hayes' direction blurs reality and memory, creating a story where the boundaries between life and death collapse. Shot with quiet intimacy, the film was praised for its emotional depth and surreal beauty. By the heartbreaking climax, Adam's search for love and closure intertwines, leaving audiences stunned by its mixture of romance and loss. 120 beats per minute. Robin Campillo's 120 beats per minute, is set in Paris during the early 1990s, following the activists of ACT UP as they fight for awareness at the height of the AIDS epidemic. Nahuel Perez Biscayar plays Sean, a passionate campaigner whose health is rapidly declining, while Arnaud Valois portrays Nathan, a newcomer drawn into both activism and a relationship with Sean. Their love story unfolds against protests, courtroom battles, and nightly strategy meetings, with an urgency that reflects the stakes of the era. Campillo, himself a former ACTUP member, infused the film with authenticity. The dance scenes, pulsing with music and strobe lights, contrast with hospital rooms where time seems to stop. Biscayart's performance is unforgettable, both defiant and fragile. The film's mix of political struggle and personal tragedy makes it one of the most powerful queer dramas of the decade. Brokeback Mountain.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Directed by Ang Lee, Brokeback Mountain became a landmark in LGBTQ+ cinema. Heath Ledger stars as Ennis Del Mar and Jake Gyllenhaal as Jack Twist, two cowboys who fall in love while working a summer job herding sheep in Wyoming. What begins as a fleeting encounter turns into a decades-long affair, sustained by secret meetings and suppressed desire. Ledger's performance is famously restrained, conveying Ennis's inner torment with quiet power, while Gyllenhaal brings Jack's yearning to life with heartbreaking intensity. Michelle Williams and Anne Hathaway also shine as the women caught in the fallout. The film was shot in the sweeping landscapes of Alberta, Canada, which doubled for Wyoming, adding epic scope to its intimate story. Winning 3 Academy Awards, Brokeback Mountain shocked mainstream audiences with its emotional honesty and left a legacy as one of the greatest love stories ever filmed. Which of these shocking LGBTQ+ films surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable movie lists.